Okay, I want to keep this quick because this is one of those things where I could talk about it for 4 hours, but only by repeating myself over and over, which I love doing. So, you know how we used to talk a lot about idpol? Identity politics, specifically liberal identity politics. It's a term that doesn't really mean much of anything on its own. You kind of have to like immediately qualify what you mean by identity politics. But usually when left-leaning people, like myself, thank you, use the term idpol, they're derisively referring to a tendency for people to weaponize their identities or the identities of others, usually their gender, race, sexuality, whatever, to make a point that isn't really valid, but they're doing it in a way like it's meant to be. It's like signals progressivism. Like a common idpol thing would be like, you know, oh, our drone pilots are women. How progressive, you know? We're gonna make the head of our military industrial complex company a transgender handicapped black woman. Don't worry about any of the stuff it does. Now that we have progressive leadership, everything will be okay. It's that kind of thing. Or, you know, let's be fair here. If you're arguing online against a person of color or a woman, and like all human beings, they can be dumbasses too, and they say something incorrect, and you're like, well, I don't agree with that. And they respond with, well, how dare you question a black woman, so on and so forth, that kind of thing. You know what I mean? Like, it's anything in that purview. What's the joke? God forbid you disagree with a white woman because then they non-binary or PTSD or NBD or whatever, you know, like that kind of thing. Many such cases, right? So I've been seeing a lot of race baiting online lately that I'm just going to wave my hands and call it like Mossad inspired psyoping, right? I've been seeing a lot of this. I don't have any specific thing to talk about. I just want to address, I guess, the topic. I saw a screenshot of this article going around. Black women do not owe Palestinians anything. And then examples of what black women should be doing instead of protesting for Palestine, and I guess being in towels and bathrobes. Now, I don't know anything about this blog. I literally just Googled the title after I saw a screenshot of the header of the article circulating. It spawned a lot of discourse, and a lot of the discourse was really stupid. You know, anyone can go online and type out anything. Like, there are people in chat right now who are getting offended by it, but when I see stuff like that, I just think psyop. That's my immediate thought. My immediate thought is like, this has been constructed in order to maximize infighting. Like, this is rage bait, essentially. Like, this is meant to be a distraction. This one in particular, by the way, hold on. This one was really good. Okay, we'll watch the video in a second. With this lady right here. This account is like a rabidly anti-Palestinian Tulsa native, 4th generation U.S. Army, 1/4 Cavalry, 1st IDS veteran. My daughter is 5th gen. It's still screw Bernie. An account with like 72,000 posts that was created in October 2023. Again, I'm not really conspiratorially minded. You know, I'm not necessarily saying it's Mossad, even though we know for a fact that they like doing internet psyops. They really enjoy doing that. But I've been seeing so much of this a soy op, one might say. Oh yeah, last post 7 minutes ago, a retweet. Didn't know neighborhood Israeli Zionist bot was another black job. True. Let's take a look at the videos. You know, why not, right?
To do your due diligence and pressure her into changing her policy on Israel.
Well. I understand you've given some of my sisters a hard way to go in a short time to get there.
So the initial video here, I did see this one. The initial video was saying, we need to pressure Kamala Harris into not enabling genocidal policy in Gaza. That's a cool sentiment, though I think that in the total video it leans a little bit anti-electoral, but okay, we'll work with the sentiment here, you know?
You've given some of my sisters a hard way to go in a short time to get there. You know, you repeatedly in that video are telling women of color, what to do.
Yes. I guess it's just been a while since we've talked about idpol, and I've seen so much of it being weaponized in the service of something that feels like a manufactured psyop, where there's been a push to create a wedge between black people and pro-Palestinian activists. I'm not saying it's super, super coordinated or that it's a big thing or anything. I just think it's like a thing to watch out for, right? I remember this happening with black people and Asian people back during the beginning of COVID too, where there were a bunch of white supremacist accounts that were salivating over and also spreading misinformation about the idea of some kind of race war between black people and Chinese people in American cities. And there are legitimate like race relation snafus between black people and Asian people in a lot of American cities. That's absolutely the case, but it was being exacerbated. It was being exacerbated by people who clearly wanted that conflict to stir up, people who would benefit from the negative engagement between Asians and blacks in America. So, you are outrageously wrong on this, Vosh. You haven't seen what people have been saying. What am I wrong on, Western Sentinel?
You might as well be standing there with a mustache, a beard, balls, the whole white man thing, because that's what it's giving.
So this is, it's all idpol shit, right? In lieu of an argument, I am a black woman, therefore I don't have to listen to you on Palestine. We're not focusing on any specific people or any specific engagement here. We're just talking about the tendency. This happened a lot between Zionists and queer people as well. I think I saw somebody earlier in chat say this. Eliza Lee, you said it, yeah, where there are all these Zionists who, by the way, hate gay people, who are like, Israel is the only gay positive community in the Middle East. Hamas will throw you off rooftops. And it's like, first of all, if I was queer in Gaza, the first thing I would die to would be one of your bombs, motherfucker. And second of all, quit pretending you care about gay people. Gay marriage isn't legal in Israel. You have a far-right cabinet. They're homophobes. You're a homophobe. You don't care. You're just using this as a wedge. It's a wedge issue. I see it nonstop online, very disingenuously, mind you.
That's really what it's given. We did what we could. Okay.
I'll find you links. There have been very real anti-black racism from TikTok creators such as Lean Pistachio Chai and Rosal on TikTok. You're probably much more involved in this than I am if you know the name of specific people on TikTok who are doing it. I'm not saying anti-black racism doesn't exist. Obviously, I believe it does. That was the last segment that we did. But none of this is done in service of a broader point on the need to oppose the genocide in Gaza, Like, this is all being done as a substitute argument. That's how idpol works. You're not making the forward argument. You're not making the first position. You're avoiding the position by appealing to identity politics. And I think it's important to call this out when it happens all across the aisle, especially because it very often happens to be the case that, white people are the ones deliberately fueling the flames because they benefit most from, in this instance, conflict between black people and pro-Palestinian people of any race, because white racists don't like either of those groups for the most part. I'm just saying. Same with black people and Asian people. Are there black people who are anti-Asian? Yes. Are there Asian people who are anti-black? Yes. Are there a lot of white racists who want to see another Korean rooftop, LA riot kind of situation? Yeah.
Okay. Now it's time that we handle our own business. All right? Okay. Did what we could. Now it's time to take care of us. But you are wanting that we continue doing shit for somebody else. I understand, because that's what everyone does. Everyone expects.
Black women are very rightfully upset at these people trying to speak for and down to them. Western Sentinel, you're treading on you're on quicksand, my friend. There's a genocide happening in Gaza. Being a black person doesn't mean you get to not care about it. If you're not opposed to the genocide, I'll talk down to you regardless of your race.
Fully expects us to handle their shit. over our.
It sounds like weirdly like AI generated the way she's
Well,
responding.
baby, time is ticking, and we just really ain't got time like that right now. You know what I'm saying?
And it's not AI generated. This is a real person. It's just weird how she's not saying anything or saying the
we
word
just
Palestine.
All right. So I, like many others, are out. And not just because of the timing. It had everything to do with the 10th. Strong request that I make a video for somebody's GoFundMe. It was like 6, 7 different GoFundMes. Like, come on now. Come on. And it's really rough for me because I'm like not a Christian like that.
Okay, I don't even know what the she's saying anymore. Black women on TikTok have had enough. Wait, is this a stitch of the entire thing?
To do your due diligence and pressure her into changing her policy on Israel.
Good.
Yeah, that's also it. Black women on TikTok have truly had enough? Is that the way we're framing this?
You cannot trick me! You cannot trick me!
So you guys were on top of cars in 2020 screaming Black Lives Matter, only to be voting in a cop in 2024.
So sick and tired of Americans playing your identity politics. I'm so sick of it.
In 2020, during George Floyd Black Lives Matter, you know what Arabs were doing for us to stand in solidarity? Yeah, you guessed absolutely nothing.
What the?
You cannot trick me! You cannot trick me! Americans playing.
In 2020, during George Floyd Black Lives Matter, you know what Arabs were doing for us to stand in solidarity? Yeah, you guessed absolutely nothing.
So this person ideologically isn't really different from Matt Walsh, just the skin colors are different and the context is swapped. If your support for people experiencing a genocide is conditional to them as a racial group having been... What does that even mean? Like, oh, the Arabs as a race have joined the George Floyd protests. What are you talking about? But this sentiment is really common, you know? It's a classic divide and conquer strategy where you alienate and atomize different groups of people. You convince them that they're fighting for different causes. And then you tell them that the real obstacle to their victory is not the challenge before them, but the, sort of selfishness and myopic nature of the people next to you, They did this with people of all different racial groups for union creation. I've talked about this a million times, where the business owners, the plutocrats, the robber barons, recognized that if all their workers banded together and unionized, they'd be kind of screwed. So they were like, hey, white man, you don't want to join a union with black people, do you? That'd be pretty cringe. And then white people were like, whoa, you're right. I am racist. I shouldn't do that. And then the robber baron would be like, hey, black people, that white man ain't a brother of yours because he's being racist to you. You should not do a union either. You shouldn't try to work with them for a union because that would be cringe. And the black guy was like, oh shit, you're right, that would be cringe. And then we have no labor rights in this country. More accurately, it was the Italians. Yeah, it's the Italians and the Irish and the so on and the so forth. Like, the fundamentals here remain the same. It's divide and conquer. And it happens over and over and over again. Bosh, I feel like you weren't getting the whole situation. A lot of Palestinian creators are being very racist to black people. First of all, if you have something to show me, show me. Second of all, that's bad. What does that have to do with supporting Palestinian people in Gaza? What do you mean Palestinian creators? You mean the ones who got out? Like, what your moral system should not be determined by the poor behavior of other people. One time I was eating beans in a theater and I spilled them a little bit and a black teenager behind me said this N-word, eaten beans. And that was really embarrassing for me, but I'm not going to adjust my position on racial politics in accordance with that. I'm not going to I'm not going to abandon the cause. I don't think that really happened. Hater.
Tunisia, yes, I give you that. But other than that, they were absolutely silent. Oh, what happened during Sonia Macy a few weeks ago? How many Arabs stood up for and said anything about black people? You guessed it, absolutely nothing.
What is this? Why are we oh, sorry, I would have a good position on this and support an end to the genocide of Palestinians, but other people from your general racial group didn't do a thing that I wanted you to. Well, how many black people showed up to my last birthday party? A few. Was it all of them?
Well, Arabs love to use, pro-Palestinians love to use Mandela. Where, ask the average Arab person, what was apartheid? Who did South Africa get its freedom from? They couldn't tell you.
What?
And
What? Who uses Mandela to make an argument about racial solidarity, but doesn't know who apartheid was done by? What? What is this?
What were they doing? What were the Arabs were doing during South Africa's fight for liberation? Absolutely nothing.
What? Man, where were Arab people when I stubbed my toe in the kitchen 2 nights ago and it really hurt and I split my toenail a little bit and I tried to find a Band-Aid so it wouldn't split further, but I couldn't find any? Where were Arab people then? Huh?
And that just shows you that all the tears and the crying and that they're saying, oh, you guys cannot support your government because
where were Arabs when the Westfold fell?
Okay. So when the Arabs are known for slavery in Africa.
Where were Arabs when I peed myself in 3rd grade? Where were Arabs when I called my teacher mom accidentally when I was in kindergarten and I was really embarrassed for the rest of the day? Huh? Where were they then? I ask you.
Yep. Previously and currently for
the PLO was against South African apartheid. So stupid. Hold on. Oh, look who supported the Palestinian cause. I mean, yeah, South Africa is literally the one leading the genocide case in the ICJ at the moment, fronted by the main party in South Africa, Nelson Mandela's party. I mean, okay. The PLO's role in the South African anti-apartheid movement, a tale of solidarity resistance. Sorry, solidarity is dead. We have to clout shark making TikToks about how we can't do a good thing because people of a different race, we think they did a not good thing another time, but then they didn't.
The oppression in our own countries. But you guys are not stopping. You guys are not stopping eating, voting, living your life.
What?
You guys are living perfectly fine. But we're, as Black people, are supposed to sacrifice ourselves for y'all when you guys have never in your lives, in the history of your lives, done anything to sacrifice.
Okay, yeah, I think this one might actually be a psyop, like Mossad and everything. I don't know. I'm trying to, like, I'm pulling from potential explanations, and I think I might be arriving at the most conspiratorial of them. We know they do psyops. I don't know. She might be stupid and paid. I mean, if you're getting paid, you don't have to be stupid. People will do a lot for money. I'm seeing a lot of this shit, man. Again, keep in mind, the only position that I am advancing here is that this is infantile, sectarian, idpol, divide and conquer bullshit that is meant to distract people from the real issues. You know, that's it. I've seen bad shit from the other side too. Which one is it? This one? Yeah, this one.
Black people also wear a uniform and get on a plane and come to our countries and kill us.
Please stop
You
shouting
vote
at me.
the same fucking melanated fucking people to government that signed papers to kill us.
You can't. I don't think you can say melanated. If you're. Are you Arab? I don't think you can say melanated.
I don't want to hear it anymore. I don't want to hear it. You are our colonizers. I do not want to fucking hear it. I don't want to hear it. I'm done.
Oh, wait. This is Rosal. This is one of the people that earlier the person said that she's bad. Yeah, you know, you're kind of getting like the opposite side of that, right? Where I don't know why she has to bring it up like that. It's not difficult. There's no like contradictory... There's nothing mutually exclusive about being pro-Black liberation and pro-Palestinian liberation. In fact, the systems that oppress both are related. That's intersectionality. There's kind of like a, you know, that's like a pretty basic read on it, you know? Colonialism, racism, apartheid, blah-de-blah-de-blah, you know? They relate. She sounds unhinged. They all sound unhinged. And who's this was? This the same? Oh, this is the same one.
Us to stop upholding the system, you're asking us to stop living. So, in other words, you're asking us to die for you, whether it be on the battleground, in a possible civil war, if we were ever to...
Yes, I'm asking you to stop upholding the systems that are killing you
and us. I do not understand where the disconnect is.
Both are Mossad psyops trying to fight lol. Yeah, it's like when white supremacist groups in America, like everyone tries to arrest everyone else at the same time because everyone's an informant for the FBI, you know? And you've got like a Mossad backed like both sides of the equation.
We are talking about the same thing but reaching a completely different conclusion. I am saying that the system that exists right now is actively killing African Americans. The system that you have right now is actively oppressing every single American.
Dog, I'm not gonna lie, I'm siding more with her, mostly because judging from the like to comment ratios, it seems like she's getting bombarded by a bunch of black people who are telling her that she's like speaking out of line for saying that black people should try to do anything to push against the genocide of Palestinians. Just judging from the like ratios here, it just makes me feel like that might be the dynamic here. I think this started the discourse. Oh, sure, bring me back. This account is private. Well, this account must have started the discourse if this is what happened to it. Happy, am I the first white person to get involved? I'm breaking new ground.
And every single American is oppressed and still oppressing other people.
She seems to think that voting equals upholding the system, though. Yeah, and that is dumb. But if you respond to that by saying, you know, you're speaking over black women's business by telling us that we need to do anything to support Arab people who suck, then that's also on them. You know, it's like you're all pawns on the chessboard. Okay, you're all dancing to the same tune. All right, you need to look beyond. All right, you need to break through the matrix. You need to take the red pill and see how deep the rabbit hole goes. By which I mean, get off TikTok and please stop. Vosh is colonizing the discourse. Absolutely, it looks like they need it. This is insane. Holy shit.
I do not understand where the disconnect is.
Give me more videos from this genre. I'm not fishing on TikTok. I don't know how TikTok works. Find me more. Do you know more? You know more from this drama you want me to see? Find it for me. Oh, we'll finish this one.
Any parts of your life, your freedoms, money, anything in hopes of making sure Black lives do matter. So y'all can keep the tears and everything. I am pro the liberation of the Palestinians. They don't deserve to be slaughtered.
The liberation?
But you guys that are living in the diaspora, you guys, the worst thing you could have done was to turn your backs on the only group that had deep solidarity with you. Good luck.
What? This is all race war shit, man.
Keep Palestinians' names out of your mouth when you're trying to defend your decision for voting for Kamala.
I'm starting to see a lot of these videos coming out, and I feel like someone really has to speak on it, so I'm going to. And I'm going to tell this with all my due respect.
327,000 likes. Okay, okay.
Palestine is not the only country that's dealing with genocide right now. I am from Congo, in case you cannot tell.
Okay.
I'm from Congo, okay? We are also dealing with genocide in Congo. In fact, the genocide in Congo has been going for way longer than the genocide in Palestine. The genocide in Congo...
Okay. There are... First of all, it depends on where you start the line. And second of all, there are differences between... Like, what's happening in Gaza is a deliberate and systemic elimination of an ethnic group. In Congo, it's partially that, but it's more, there's also like a regional colonial element. Whatever. We don't have to pit two bad bitches against each other.
Congo has made 8 million of victims. 8 million.
Okay.
You might wonder, why am I making this video? Well, I am making this video because I'm going to support.
Also, like, are we sending weapons to Congo? Well, it would be us sending weapons to Rwanda, right? Wait, is Rwanda the one currently doing the incursion, or it's the Tutsi expat groups that are conducting the like massive slaughter in Congo because they want to facilitate the resource extraction? It's a whole thing. I read about it a bit on stream before. It's just, it's wretched.
Support Vice President Kamala. 100%, I'm going to. And I'm going to tell you why I'm going to support Vice President Kamala. Listen to me. This is one of the Congolese genocide enabler.
Okay.
His name is Dan Gettler.
Okay.
This guy is an Israeli billionaire who owns mines in Congo.
Okay.
This guy was sanctioned in 2017 by President Barack Obama for corrupt and illegal mining. Listen very carefully.
Okay.
He was sanctioned by Obama.
In 2017? Man, he really did that like on the last day, huh?
He's a Democrat.
Okay.
Okay?
Okay.
This dude got reinstated. Someone gave him his money back. Someone gave him his money back.
Okay.
You know who did that? Donald Trump.
Okay.
Donald Trump gave him his money back. It was one of the very last thing he did as a president was to give this guy his money back.
Okay.
And do you know who sanctioned this guy again? President Biden.
I had no idea it'd be him.
President Biden sanctioned him again. So currently, this person does not have his money. All the money, all the illegal money he made in Congo, he does not have it right now.
Okay.
Because of President Biden. So one thing I know for sure, Vice President Kamala, she's not going to let this guy get his money back.
Okay.
And another thing that I know for sure is that if Trump gets back in office,
okay,
Trump is going to reinstate this guy.
Okay.
Trump is
so what? Okay. So what if we want Kamala to win over Trump, which I agree with, but we also want to pressure Kamala Harris into being as good as she can be on the Palestine issue?
Going to give him his money back. How do you think Israel is getting all that money? Because of this guy. He's one of the people who are giving money to Israel.
That Israel's a whole country with a whole economy. It's not just like individual people who, okay.
So if you want to stop this guy from getting his money back and potentially giving that money to Israel, make sure that Trump does not make it.
Okay.
Now let's be real for a second, because I feel like a lot of people don't take this part in consideration. Listen, a lot of people have lost their jobs for supporting Palestine. A lot of content creators got their account banned for supporting Palestine.
Okay.
A lot of people got hurt physically for protesting for Palestine. A lot of people have ruined their relations with their families and friends.
But all of this is also the case in protesting for other left-leaning causes. People got fired for stuff relating to like protesting BLM. Would he accept this as a legitimate excuse for somebody not being a supporter of Black Lives Matter? A lot of people have gotten hurt protesting Black Lives Matter. A lot of people have lost their jobs protesting for Black Lives Matter. A lot of people have lost family and friends protesting for Black Lives Matter. Would he consider that to be a legitimate excuse for not being good on that position?
Simply because they were on the side of Palestine. So if you're going to tell all these people who have sacrificed so much for your cause that they are wrong for choosing a candidate who's going to preserve their rights in their own country, then I'm sorry to tell you this, but you are being both ungrateful and disingenuous.
But what? But this lady didn't even say anything. Okay, I'm seeing a lot of stitching being done where people are talking down very sanctimoniously to individuals who haven't said anything. She just said, keep Palestinians' names out of your mouth. Isn't he saying we should support both causes? Close. He never actually said we should support the Palestinian cause. He actually didn't say that. Vosh, you came at this from the wrong angle and you're unwilling to adjust your framing. This guy's 100% correct. She told him he can't vote for Kamala. Well, I haven't seen that. How is it me being unwilling to adjust my framing if the video literally doesn't include the information that your argument hinges upon? Press play. I will hit. Okay.
Keep Palestinians' names out of your mouth when you're trying to defend your decision for voting for Kamala.
I'm starting to...
That's not a full argument. I listened to this guy talk for 3 whole minutes, man. I gotta listen to, you know, what about the other side? And also, don't you think it would be... Okay, when I argue against people who are anti-electoral, do I not usually condition my arguments by reaffirming the fact that I should be in favor of whatever position, or that we should push for this or that, or we should advocate for this or that, you know? You can view the Stitch video from the description. Really? Is it original sound? Okay, that brings me to this person, not necessarily to the video. The whole point is that black people are upset that pro-Palestinian people are telling them they're not allowed to vote. First of all, why is that a race thing? The anti-electoral discourse is hardly, oh, here we go, yeah. It's hardly racially specific. And for two, why then am I seeing 31,000 like Twitter posts with this bullshit and this lady being just actively anti-Arab racist, you know? I think you guys are coming at this from the wrong angle. You're thinking, this isn't a psyop. I agree with some elements of some of the people involved. That's what makes it a good psyop. That's what makes it a good psyop. You think that all the psyops are just like a delicious pink frosted glazed donut with sprinkles with a box and a stick right over it? You have to keep an eye out. The Rational video, this is 10 minutes long. That's a 10-minute long, that's not a TikTok anymore.
Keep Palestinians' names out of your mouth when you're trying to defend your decision for voting for Kamala.
I'm starting to see
that's not the original. Wait, what?
A lot of these videos.
Wait, I thought, oh, this shows everyone who's responded to her. Oh, a lot of people have. Here's the original. I don't know how TikTok
Keep
works.
Palestinians' names out of your mouth when you're trying to defend your decision for voting for Kamala. I don't give a shit. I'm not here to try to persuade you one way or another. I know what I'm going to be doing come November, but my God, just sit with your cognitive dissonance. Don't try to shove it onto the rest of us, all right? Palestine has nothing to do with it, because if you cared about Palestinians, you would not be sitting here saying that you were going to vote blue no matter who. No, you'd be putting these politicians' feet to the flames. You'd be demanding more. You wouldn't be saying, oh, I'm going to vote and then maybe I'm going to try to organize. You who have never organized a day in your life. Just zip it, all right? Zip it. Us Palestinians, sick of hearing your shit.
That wasn't anywhere near as bad as I expected it to be. Isn't this anti-electoral? Yeah, but she also says that you should try to protest against the treatment of the Palestinian people before she gets elected. Like, she's saying that essentially you're not sort of elevating the concern. I mean, I disagree with the video. I just don't know why it had to set off a race war. Notice it wasn't about race either. That's true! I can't help but notice this video didn't... Does the comment section... No, where does this mention black people? Why is this a race war? Why did it turn into the psyop that it turned? The comments are off. I mean the description under the video. What the hell is organizing? They never explain what that is. Don't talk to me like I haven't spent 5 years arguing against the anti-electoral types. You will bend the knee and you will vote for Kamala. However, I don't think any of this necessitates the starting of a race war. Is that so unreasonable? Again, like, you're getting people on Twitter like, black women have had enough. And then it's this lady being like, what have Arabs ever done for us, huh? What have you people ever done for us? It's like, I don't know if this was a necessary... I don't think this was... And you guys, because you're fish, you know, you see the hook and you're like, oh, that's one element of a good point. That sounds vaguely like part of a good point that I believe in. And then you get hooked. You get hooked. I'm telling you, it's not that difficult of a debate. Oh God, there are so many more that are hosted on Twitter.
Y'all can't stop being anti-black when you disagree with black people. You don't need to be speaking on black people. If y'all continue to harass black people, black women, y'all...
If you consume content like this, you're genuinely no different from like Sunny V2 or Turkey Tom fans. You guys know that, right? This is literally just the progressive, sensitive... TikTok Zoomer equivalent of DramaTube. It's literally identical. You're not like learning anything. You're just getting extremely over-edited, annotated videos on how you should be mad at a person or how somebody else has aggrieved someone else. And like, I'm not saying there's anything necessarily wrong with engaging in a bit of light drama fluff, but like, holy shit, we don't need the race war, man. It's not necessary. Apparently this was like an originating video.
Earlier today,
I saw a video on my For You
page of a woman of color responding to a comment from someone saying, if you're going to vote for Kamala Harris, take the Palestinian flag out of your bio, because the woman was supporting Palestine and had the Palestinian flag in her bio. And her response was, okay, I'm never going to support Palestine again. And I was reading the comments and I was like, there's other countries struggling in the world. Not everything's about Palestine. If you can't listen to Palestinians telling you that Kamala Harris funded and supported our genocide. Therefore, we are not voting for her. Therefore, we are not going to support her publicly. If you could hear us say that and your reaction is, well, I don't care about Palestine. I'm never going to talk about it again. I'm never going to support you guys again. You're a really bad person and you never actually cared about Palestine. People treat politics like it's just like a trend. Like it's really cute to...
She's right and wrong. Yeah, she's hovering. She's on the fence post on this one. Obviously, you should vote for Kamala Harris. No getting around that. That being said, if you respond to a Palestinian saying, I don't want to vote for Kamala Harris because she enabled the mass slaughter of my people with, well, then never mind, I don't care about Palestinian people anyway, then you're also wrong.
Be like, I love Biden, I hate Biden, I hate Kamala, I love Kamala, I love Palestine, I hate
Watch the
Palestine.
second video in that thread for the response from the creator she's referencing. Oh, you're getting me involved. I just wanted to sample, like, I'm having some hors d'oeuvres from the drama, and you guys are like, no, you're in for the full course. Have, like, all 73 of the videos in this conversational chain. The second video in that thread for the response from the creator she's referencing. Okay, what is this?
So this creator took my video, downloaded it, uploaded it, because I have stitches turned off, and then proceeded to spend 3 minutes saying,
okay, sweetheart, this take didn't do what you think it did. Not at all.
Also,
so
just
this creator...
as a general rule, if you talk like this, I'm going to assume that you're incorrect.
This take didn't do what you think it did. Not at all. It's given... I'm smarter than this Congolese black man about his own issues and his own community. It was given...
Yeah, oh god. Oh man. Oh boy. Everyone's so smug. Everyone's so smug. Dude, that's not the video. Dude, I'm sorry, there's like a billion videos.
I'm going to talk at you about this issue because I don't believe you can understand what I'm saying. Which first was literally, and in case you know, times of behaviors like this. And
that's great. Good job. Fantastic job.
I'm just putting notice out to all you pro-Palestine protesters in my comments and in my inbox harassing me, telling me I don't need to be voting. You got me up. I am not conceding my vote to MAGA and making my life a living hell over here in the country that I got to live in. Protest. I don't mind that. The genocide, it's wrong. They working on it. They can't just fix it. That genocide been happening for years. Kamala and Joe and nobody else in this current administration, or not even Donald Trump, none of them are the cause of the genocide. Y'all been fighting over there for years. They didn't create it. They're trying to help as best as they can. But for y'all...
No, they're not. You guys are clapping and applauding to like a centrist liberal position. You people are sheep. None of you should. All honestly, just ban yourselves. All sister yes clap hopium. Are you fucking kidding me? This is literally like Nancy Pelosi could be saying this. You people are insane.
Y'all to be bullying people. It is. It's getting very anti-black. You gonna get away from me. You're getting blocked now.
You guys are insane, man. You don't see your fish. You don't see the hook. You don't see the trend. You see 1/50th of an agreement, and then you're like, oh, I'm in. Surely the remaining 49/50ths, the remaining 98% of this will be fine. She started out cooking, then went off the rails. I knew this was going to be bad the nanosecond it started. But that's the reason why I'm the multi-trillionaire live streamer, and you guys are down there eating the peanut shells that I toss on you. That's anti-chat racism. Yep. Can we please stop watching the dumbest people on the internet? My brain can't stand much longer. You don't like the completely needless race war? Oh god, this one's from Drew Pavlo. Why do Arab nationalists think they get a special progressive global South pass to be racist to black Americans, not gay? Okay, is it actually going to be racist to black Americans? Who, Pavlo? Don't worry about it.
American liberals don't realize that the reason that the rest of the...
What accent is this, and would it be racist of me to make fun of it? Chat, I need the check on that real quick. Is that British, like mainland British? Because there's a lot of accents that sound British that aren't British. It's just British? Okay.
the world has to give a shit about who comes into power there is because the rest of the world's don't realise that the reason that the rest of the world has to give a shit about who comes into power there is because the rest of the world suffers from America's foreign policy.
That's true.
But Kamala will at least improve domestic policies. She's been vice president for 4 years now. If she wanted to improve policies, she had the political influence to do so.
Yeah, this one's pretty
Your
dumb.
country isn't shit because of a Democrat government. Liberals weaponizing anti-blackness to defend the US empire, all because they want a token ethnic president, who, by the way, was an ex-cop, the same people that are brutally murdering
Yeah, that was kind of racist.
African Americans, is a choice. And let's not sit here and pretend like she cares about you or is going to do shit for ethnic minorities. Kamala is part of the system that you're fighting against. She's a sellout, just like every other token ethnic who gets into any...
That was pretty racist. All right. I've adjusted my position. I'm now racist against Arabs. I'm joining in the discourse, okay? I'm going to wildly oscillate back and forth. I'm never going to arrive at like a center position. I'm just going to sort of like adjust which side in the race war that I'm on, you know? I'm doing Lawrence of Arabia bit, okay? I'm getting involved in like the, you know, I'm getting involved in a conflict that is not mine, but God willing, like Tom Cruise is a samurai, okay? I will emerge victorious nonetheless. Are you doing the anti-London Muslims bit again? Okay, to be fair, Muslims in London, look, okay, you can either make them stop being the stereotypes of Wahhabists that they are, or you can take away their social media. But there's a reason why those stereotypes exist, and it has nothing to do with Islam. It's entirely London, as far as I'm concerned. Who wouldn't want to, like, wildly whiplash against Western civilization after being exposed to London? Afro-pessimism is a real problem in black anti-racist spaces. Yeah, probably. Yeah, I saw a bird brain bug. Tweeted from the Islamic Caliphate of London. Yeah, yeah.